bit about how this all fits together. So we've got a Keller cloud. We've got a whole lot of data in it. And you know, is that taping?
I don't know.
Yeah. You know where a lot of the data came from was all the green sheets over the years. That provided Keller Williams with a whole lot of basic data from which they could. Ryan, have you been trained in this stuff yet? Okay. Perfect. On top of that, they've created a proprietary software called the artificial intelligence, the Kelly AI. And that has started for most of you with your Kelly app. How many of you here have loaded your Kelly app? Okay. Okay, so the first iteration on this was with the Kelly app and using Keller Williams Connect to go get referrals. How many people have used Keller Williams Kelly app for referrals? And that's through KW Connect. Okay, and so basically your old intranet, this is all the same login, but KW Connect, that's a great opportunity to go in and find other referral agents. I get found a lot, so it's a great tool for you. And we're not going to talk as much about Connect today, but I do urge everybody to go in and make sure and write this down that you have a profile set up in Connect, that you upload a photo that does not a cityscape, so it looks more like here, that you've written a few things about yourself, and that your team membership, if you're part of a team, that's correct. Then take a minute on your Connect and go in and pick some cities and find some agents you'd like to connect with and just send out a note. Or all you have to do is press a button. When we were at Keller Williams things, you can do it right then and there, and it actually tags them, puts them into your database, and it tags them as being from Family Reunion Connection. So the next step was really to create Command, which is got so many different applications, and Command is basically, I guess for lack of a better term, a CRM on steroids. So there's a lot of things that could be done from Command, and the first thing that people ask you, that it's been asked that you do, is to start putting some of your contacts in there. There will be more functionality for you to market from your database, but it's good to get your data in there and start tagging it. The idea that they kept posing to us at Family Reunion was we're evolving from a one-to-many standpoint, like, sending out your flyers, to starting to connect with each people. So the more fine you have your tags. And one example they used is dog lovers. You can tag the dog lovers in your database. You can tag the January birthdays in your database. You can make a tag and specifically talk to those people, and you can make it as fine as you want. So there's a lot of great tagging capabilities in that. If you are ever read MREA, they talk about met and not met, and I would just say think deeply about how you want to talk to your client base. Met and not met is kind of, because after a while you may have not met the people, but you feel like you've met them, so you can move them to met. So it's a little vague. So anyway, this is built this is talking about the virtual consumer, the virtual agent, and the virtual market center. They're building the system for the long term. They decided not to do, if anybody's had like an EXP presentation, they've basically used a lot of different people's software and they've kind of mixed it together. We've got this for this, this for this. It's all proprietary. They're spending over $1 billion just building this from ground up. So it's pretty awesome. And what's amazing, like I put in a question when I was at Family Reunion and somebody answered it. And they said, here are places to look. And they've got in Austin, we've got like 250 people working on this. So it's growing every day. So the goal here today is to get you guys at least conversant in the different areas, but what you do with them is up to you. So you might have an area that you want to look into a little bit more. Go ahead and ask questions, but we might say just hold up, just let's wait, but we will write down, Ashley's going to write down the questions so we know the direction to take the next classes. Are there any questions? All right. So Rob's been working hard. He'll come in and he'll say, here's what we've got. And I'll say, well, find out this. And then he'll find it out. So it's really been awesome to see all the different things that the system does.
So first things first, we want to log into your command. And I have a video, it's a short video that kind of goes through
guys, this is Scott Roy, Scott Roy Marketing, coming in for another weekly tip. All right, so today's tip is a simple one. It's how you can actually log into your new KDB command platform. So it's the new CRM, kind of new back that's launching, and and it'll work in addition to the MyKW platform, but it's going to have a different login page. All right, so to access this page that I'm on right now, we'll go to agent.kw.com. All right, once we go to agent.kw.com, we're going to put inside our username. All right, so whatever your username is for the MyKW platform. All right, and then put a password on here. We'll put inside our password as well. All right, then we'll put sign in, and that is pretty much it. Then this will give us access to all of our different items on here for MyKW, for KW command. I didn't get used to saying that. All right, so on here we'll actually see kind of our homepage, basically our dashboard. Here's all of our contacts we can access, opportunities, lead accelerators, we have local insights, we can customize our settings, sketch house or designs on here, smart plans that are launching soon, landing pages, reports, email campaigns, and then at the very bottom you can actually see some different items that are coming on here as well. Right? Whether it's going to be the referral section, calendar, an updated dashboard, leverage options, listing concepts, or even just listings on here too if you click on us.
Or again, anyone have trouble logging in?
Yeah, it takes me to the website we want to log in. MyKW.
Agent.kw.com?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not cool.
So that's what I get. But when I go to log into MyKW,
Okay. We're used to go at home, see, also.
it's not that big.
No, it's definitely not.
So if you go ahead and try and just Google KW command, and it's like the first or second link, pull it up, and that's how I was finding it before I saved it as one of my favorites.
Console.kw.
So,
Now I'm looking at where's the last thing.
Okay, good.
so yeah, console command.
But whenever you use what is in it. It's already interactive.
And that's the direct login.
Like if you go to your regular you go to education, yeah, and you can run it from this page. That's how I selected Keller. That's the only way I've ever found it. And then you can click command. So the agent one is that way, but if you click that, you can go from there. Does that make sense at all? Education, and then you go to cloud, and then you can click on command.
Yeah, that's great. Go into the cloud, you can see all the different things that WLS is in. Cloud, remember that was the baseline of everything. Right.
So you guys look at your handouts, basically the overview I'm going to do is we're going to do login. I'm going to go through your dashboard. So each one of these sections that are active, I'm going to just give just a brief overview. I'm going to dive more in depth into about 3 of them, just to kind of get an idea of like what you could use them for. From there, I'm going to do the Kelly app and its capabilities, just to kind of get an idea of like, simple and easy ways that you can use that stuff. And then last, I'm going to finish up with how to log into your KW Connect and sign up for webinars, which we probably ideally like to do in here as well some days. If we So to start off, we're going to go into contacts. And for me, I'm just going to show you how to add, one contact at a time, and then how to do bulk contacts from, I guess, your basic database that you already have set up.
Who here has it set up, or who here is familiar with spreadsheets?
So for the bulk updates, will be good for spreadsheets. So for right now, we'll go to add one contact. It's at the top right corner of your page. And this brings up a little window, and it has pretty much all of the different types of information that you need. I think there's even birthday and like spouse and father and, you know, a bunch of random stuff in here if you want to get super specific. So from here, very easy. You just type in all their information. You can kind of see what stage they're in: captured, connected, qualified. We store system tags, custom tags that I'll go into here in a second as well. And then once you get down, you go create, and that will add it directly into all of your contacts. So it's just a brief add one contact. It's very similar. So if you already do have a starter set up, it'll be pretty similar to that. Going on to importing bulk contacts. So this one's a little bit more complicated. So if you already have a either CSV or an Excel spreadsheet, you can convert it to a CSV. You can just drag that file directly into this page right here, and it will upload. They advise you to use their template, which if you click this download button here, it will actually bring you to a template that they've already got, where they have, you know, name, middle name, last name, each different type of phone number that may apply, several spots for multiple emails, street address, state, you know, what company they work for, company address, all sorts of stuff.
So if you take your existing spreadsheet and format it in this, you update it.
Yeah.
If I uploaded another one, will it map fields for me? Have you tried that?
So I did that, and it did not translate to UKG. So from what I found out so far is if you do have an existing spreadsheet, or in your CRM, you can export into a spreadsheet. You're going to want to copy and paste each field. So copy all the first names, and the first name, all the way down to whatever applicable.
Because it won't allow you to upload a Gmail. Right.
So copying and pasting, you know, and it's kind of a pain if you have 1,000 contacts in one spreadsheet. It'll just take a little bit more time.
Don't do it that way, then it's screwy.
You'll have just the names and no contacts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that a file that everybody?
Yep. So if you go and you hit import right up here, you're going to come to this page, and if you click on download, it downloads that template directly onto your computer. And you can make your downloads and just double click on it, and it'll pop up. Yeah. That's how I got the template.
This is not coded.
I'm using Safari. And let's see if it'll actually work for me now, because so that's what I did to get it the last time, and once I had it downloaded, I just kept using the same template that was already in my template.
We'll email everybody that CSV template.
Okay. So, yeah, we can still email that out to everybody just to make sure that they have it. And two things I want to go over within these spreadsheets. For the CSV format, if you upload or copy and paste your phone numbers and there's no dashes or separations between the area code and the other numbers, then it will turn into a formula in the case. So you want to make sure all your phone numbers have dashes. The same goes for zip codes. If the postal code is at the end of the zip code without a dash, it'll do the same thing, turn it into a formula. So you want to make sure that you have dashes separating the numbers for each one, and I learned that the hard way. So that also can take some time as well. The last thing is, so we have custom tags as an option when you're putting in contacts into your command, and user tags within this CSV file that Keller's provided for us. User tags is actually translates to custom tags in the computer. So when you have your custom tags and you copy and paste them in here, so you have 3 custom tags: clients, referral, clients, and something else. If they're separated by comma, all 3 of those will automatically be created in your custom tags field in your command.
Whoa, that's smart.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's cool.
So if
So
I,
for luxury clients, if you have past clients.
if they're under more than one category, it will add those for you in the contact. So from here, you want to save this file. Save it as whatever you want. So this is an example, and it's for clients. So you probably want to save it as, clients CSV for command, and then from there, you come back to this page, import, and you click this little box to browse your documents. Once you do that, just put it in there, and then hit upload, and it should bring that in, and it takes, I think the biggest one that I did took about 3 minutes. So that one obviously takes shorter, but you see I pulled up my documents already, and you can kind of search through your different fields and bring that in. So from there, we're going to do creating a custom tag. This will be beneficial because the system tags are very general that they provide for you, so you're going to want to know how to do custom tags. And like Leslie said, you could bring it even down to dog lovers or sports teams or something. So from here, you want to go to your name. You want to go to your name in the top right corner and go to settings. You can also reach settings in the left toolbar on the side or from your dashboard. And when this loads, I'll show you custom tags. And let me know if I'm going too fast for everybody. Okay. So once you're in your settings, on the left-hand side, you'll see all these different fields that you can customize, one of which is custom tags. And this is fairly straightforward. If it will load. Handout too, I have step-by-step instructions for a lot of this stuff, so if you need to go back and refer to it for anything that you're working on. Here you have all the custom tags. You see the ones that we've already put in. These do not show up in alphabetical order, so if you're looking for something specifically, if it was added dead last, you're going to have to go all the way to the end of your fields, and you're going to find it at the very end. So from here, you go to create new tag, top right. Very simple as well. You can type in anything you want. Pet lovers, for example, and you can color code this too. So we'll do this guy.
This color coding apparently is done in the labs, and this was like to read.
And so it lets you view 10 at a time, so sometimes it'll take you a little bit to get all the way to the end. Yeah, you can assign multiple tags to your
Can you find somebody in there that's got multiple tags? They look.
Yeah. So right here we've got. Let's see if I can do it.
Over to that.
So right here on your sidebar on the left. So this right here is your dashboard. So this is just a very condensed version.
The first dashboard we looked at with all the different things you can do?
Yeah. Each one is a symbol paired with it, and the symbols show up here. And then when you go over one of them, it pops up with like the name. So if you're not sure what the symbols are, you
So you're under contacts now?
Yep, it's just contacts. So see how I just clicked on A. Lloyd? This has 2 tags associated with it, Shillelagh and beneficial sale. So I'm not sure if there's a limit to how many tags you can have, but I know that there are some that have 3 around. In the color coding, you can see they show up differently. And I think that this has been beneficial if you're in your Kelly app too and you're looking at somebody's contact. It will be there right at the top.
And so say you're, well, let's say choose that file. Say you're doing your file and then you want to do, your like, how do you, like, I have a tag, but I can't make
So we can go over filters really fast. So we go back to,
Tag is the way people actually dividing your people after them. Okay, so in tagging, I have clients and local clients. So there's certain things I'm not going to send every day. I'll send to luxury. It's a filtering process. Probably your database is larger. Okay. Also send out, I mean, that's making it you target appropriately because you put out stuff and they're like, this doesn't have anything to do with it.
So this is just trying to are this or not
yeah,
this?
it's just,
And then the other thing is a different thing. The thing that we're talking about is a different thing. You're or helping decide on what closing gift to give them. And some people use cutting boards and some people use wine. So you have to give a preference. You see what I'm saying?
That would be something that you're on. You could tag it anywhere, but you need to have all your clients. You're doing that as you go through the closing. So
But I'm thinking of something different. Some of them have drop-down menus that your contacts pick what they like. Like in your conversation, say you ask them, oh, do you drink wine? No, I don't drink wine. Oh, they like.
so you could probably do that as a custom tag if you wanted to.
That's what I think. Because like I have it.
yeah, you can have notes. I mean,
Add contacts. So you can,
add the field. Custom tags.
for system tags, there's a description box up top here. So in your description, you could do that, but if you wanted to sort like your whole database by, line or word, you could do that as a custom tag.
Yeah, you just create tags for that.
So just once you create.
So let's do filters because this might be what you're trying to get at. So filters here, this is how you can filter your whole database, and we have about 13,000 contacts. So system tags are the ones that this comes with. So those are the easy ones. Custom tags are the ones that you create yourself. So if you have like wine, we'll say, and these they only show 5 at a time, by the way. So if you have one that's in here that you don't see, just type it, and it'll pop up for you. So we'll just do Boone Homes for sale, and then click apply, and these will show all of the clients that you have.
You're here.
All the clients that you have that are tagged as Boone Homes for sale. So if you did one as wine, you wanted to see.
But then you'd have to do like wine and white
I don't think a massive CRM like this is what you want to use to do that.
They just use these.
Who's they?
The people that I watch webinars. They
For
always
this?
talk about, yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
always talk about apple pie. They must have a lot of apple pie.
Oh, okay,
So they'll create a tag
That's right.
for pies.
yeah.
And then on Thanksgiving, they send everybody.
Pies are huge. If you go to Keller, every time they talk about they give pies at Thanksgiving.
I don't know what their thing is about.
Everybody gives pies. It's a really big
Everybody
deal.
loves pie.
Yeah.
So they create a tag somewhere. They'll have a drop-down menu and you'll put pumpkin.
Right, so you can go in and then only the pumpkin people, like there might be, you might have 10,000 and maybe 100 are even relevant to pies, right? Okay, so you're going in and you're tagging that pumpkin. When it comes time, you can filter by pumpkin and you got your list.
So there's a way, maybe they don't know the answer to this, it's not a question. There's a way that you can create a tag, and maybe it's not called a tag, maybe it's something different, where it has a drop-down menu and you can pick one of those things.
It's a type of some categories, or it's some sort of a,
Categories.
or just go pie. Just write pie because she's right. They go pie.
They always talk about
So John, okay, this is it. If you're entering a contact and you want to put them in multiple do that? Do I multiple select?
So when you're within a,
Just go in and he's entering somebody from, that he met.
so you would, go back here. Add contact, start my name. And your tag fields, so you have system tags, so we can do agent, custom tags, associate, and let's say clients. I think you have to do it all at the same time, probably one by one. Yeah, and it's kind of confusing because they only show you like 3 to 5 at a time. So you have to type them in because we have 30 tags right now. So
What to do?
so you can scroll for like 5 of them, and that's it. And even once you click on one, then I think it limits you to 4 at a time. But if it's not listed right there, I mean, you can type it and it will pop up.
If I type, okay, so say I have one right now and I typed in Billy Idol. Will it ask me if I want to have a new one? Create Billy, there it is.
So create.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about too, if you're importing like your whole database, you use that user tag field, it will create all those tags if you have already existing. So that's one thing I found out too, if your tags are spelled wrong in like, 3 or 4 contacts, it's going to create, say I spelled clients wrong 3 times within 100 contacts, then I'm going to end up with 4 different tags because there's the client spelled wrong 3 times and then there's client spelled right. So you have to also make sure that all your tags are, which will be good. Overall database. Another thing that they talked about too is if you have like a very small database, like say you're just starting out, a lot of times they said that it's really good to, like, you can call them individually as you add them, so that you're touching these people as you're putting them in. For larger databases, they were saying.
No, but I have an example.
Yeah, and then, for larger databases, you put them straight on in books.
So the big thing is that probably 90 to 95% of your people that you put in there you don't have a physical address for. And the whole thing is to try and get physical addresses. So it's a good reason to call and check on people. Hey, I'm just upping my database. I did that by text, and that it's very helpful. Then and you can have, like, I will have one in here that says Christmas card list, so I'll only have to pull those people, and so it's a great touch. The whole system that, if we get to it today, will be that you, based on where they live or based on where they're moving, you can put them on a geographic neighborhood snapshot. And they've put in thousands of neighborhoods across the country. This is an example of an agent who called me that I network with, and I've seen at family reunion. And it's my picture, she pulled out Facebook, and her picture, and she has a in here. This is the send-down card. I'll pull up her neighborhood's sample here, and it says, thanks for taking my call and helping me update my agent referral database. So, I mean, there's way out there. These are because we don't have built off of that.
Does anyone have any questions for your contacts so far? Just in general, from anything we've talked about or anything that you're curious about that we may have forward?
I'm sure that you guys will have questions as you go through. So, we can also there are places that have questions.
So we have 2 different things. I believe you were watching the webinar with me when we went over this. The first one down here is this chat. And I think that this one was for general questions. And when you type in something in here, it will basically it'll be like, I have a question. When I was playing around with it, it would basically give you like a link to an article. So this is like non-emergency and how do I do something kind of thing.
We try and use that, because we don't have a person on staff for it, so try and see if we can get this way. Also, are you guys familiar with our office's Facebook page? That's a really good way to set out their questions and further answer them. I'll sign up, but
the last time that I messed around with this, they had not connected the Kelly app to this actual section. So now it looks like the capabilities that you have on your smartphone with your Kelly app have now been applied to this chat group right here. So anything that you can ask Kelly, you'll be able to ask this right here. So it's kind of not really, it's very specific to what it knows. All right, so from here, I'm going to go back to our dashboard, and I'm just going to kind of briefly go about the things that each section does. I'm not going to get too into if you have questions, just let me know. So we're going to go over to opportunities. This is essentially your pipeline. So where things are in the step-by-step process, all the way from drawing in clients to or cultivating to closing.
For transaction management.
And it's done very simply. We had an example in here. So it shows listings, buyers, leases, if you do those, and down here it's your ratios. So you can actually see what percentage of each of these is, the highest, and like what you're focusing on down here. And then it shows your activity. And these aren't gonna, none of this stuff is gonna pop up unless you're actually using this. So we're in this stage right here. So each one of these, like Cultivate, has 3 different sections: watch, nurture, or hot. So where they are in the cultivation process. Appointment is like scheduling, scheduled, and active is staging, showing, and negotiations. Contract, and as a non-realtor, stuff is a little over my head, but I'm going to try to make it work for you guys. I think that when you start, go back to Colton. If I did this last, you could create opportunity, and you can search contacts.
Okay.
So I think I'm working.
Brand new contacts. So if I add a brand new contact, then there's my
Sorry, what was that?
okay, so you come into my office, my new listing. Add to my database. Automatically add it to the database.
Yeah, so this looks like a required field, so it does look like you would have to already be in here.
So I tried to add a spouse, but I didn't have a spouse in my database yet as a contact.
Okay.
Contacts.
Now that I'm in Cultivate, this stuff is, as you move them along, you click and drag. So this is going to be the time consuming part and going to take. So then yeah.
You guys, this isn't, you don't have to imagine having 40 brokers and practice to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
You can have all their stuff in here.
You, they don't automatically go if it's turned on your.
I believe so. We haven't actually done one ourselves yet, but if anyone in here hasn't actually noticed that, answer to that.
there are a couple of big teams who are trying to all of their transactions. So I think we're looking through this whole thing, has some information about that. It's just like using, what's this, Folio? Was that it? Folio on Gmail? Mm-hmm. It's actually more than software. You don't have to use this.
Yeah, so as you go. Yep, so I've been going along to each section, and then
How
what?
do you move it from active to other contract?
So you go and you just hover it over the top toolbar, and
Laying it in there, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to happen.
once you click on closed, if my computer will load. So I think your actual little mouse has to be directly over it, yeah. So it might take you a couple of tries. So yeah, once you move it down, and there's plenty of information that goes along with each of these stages that you can kind of update as you go as well. So I thought that was really cool.
It does this probable and potential income because it will go further and further down.
So buyers is pretty much the exact same thing. I think the stages are just a little bit differently, obviously tailored to buyers versus sellers. And you do this exact same thing. And your steps, and then from here, you have leases, and I think the steps here are like way different. And you see, so since I put in that one contact and I got to closed with our activity for this month just shot up. So it's kind of cool. It tracks everything. That's pretty much it for opportunities. If anyone has any questions. Move on to Lead Accelerator. If you go back to your dashboard, Groups is not yet a thing. Lead Accelerator is pretty much the paid application to manage ad campaigns. So if you pay for like extra Facebook stuff, and what I watched on this is that if you use this, you would reach 50% more people than you would using any other boost like payment. I think that Keller makes sure that you kind of reach a lot more markets because they're the ones that push it through this app, which is really cool. But since we don't have this set up, there's not really too much we can talk about with it.
We'll also have a different talk about it. This is optimized.
Top right, you can do create new campaign. And it's really cool because it saves all of your campaigns. So you have active ones that you've already done that are running currently. You have drafts for the ones that you're still setting up. You can see the ones that have been taken offline that you used in the past. So if you wanted to rerun them or scale them to a different market and then run it again. All your archives.
Where, are these like Google or these? Are these Facebook?
So I think that it's going to be more like social media stuff. So if you're doing email campaigns, that's going to be directly to your content. But if you're doing something where you want your ad to be at the top of the list or something, I guess. from what I've seen so far, this has been very interactive with pretty much all social media apps that you have. We can look at, if you go into your settings, these are going to be kind of the accounts that they offer directly here that you'd want to sync up. So like right now we have a Gmail account connected, we have a Facebook account connected. We can do post scheduling, which we already do through this team. Not connected yet, and then you have, your Google stuff. And here's something really cool.
Words down there. Words is one
Yep.
thing.
And something really cool is PySync. And this is going to be good if you want to connect your a different database. Yeah, so like we use Constant Contact, and within PySync, there's like 150 apps that you can connect that aren't offered directly on this page right here. So
You can probably
and one of the ones was like MailChimp that they used in webinars as an example. So if you use MailChimp for your email campaigns, that would be within PySync that you'd have to go connect that to. You actually have to create a PySync account before it lets you actually put all these apps onto. MailChimp is down here.
Let's move on to
Okay.
do a class on music.
Next, I have referrals. So this translates from your KW Connect. So y'all are way more familiar with like how that works than I would be if you've been using it on Connect. So you have your pending invites, new responses, inbound and outbound. And then you have even like matches and stuff like that. And then this has all the referral network here. So if you have, say, if you have 208, it looks like, and you can go through all these guys and add to them and send a referral and all that stuff, which is really cool. And this goes directly into your Kelly app too, which you can do very easily on there.
Don't go out and solicit all those. You go out and paint markets. Or responding to others.
So quite a few, okay, let's look at a couple. Quite a few are from Family Reunion. Family Reunion. These are what inbound and outbound referrals look like.
Okay.
Okay, and you can talk. Here's one thing. Once you start using it, you can use this as your chat back and forth, because I had one that was like, I hadn't heard from you. I'm like, well, I hadn't heard from you. Well, she'd been trying to contact me here. I didn't know that.
Got it.
So just be aware. But you can go in. I know Pam has done some great work picking out target cities, trying to find target. Because these people we're referred to market. They definitely want to be out there.
And I've gotten a couple from it. I've done 120,
That's great.
and a lot of them reached out, so.
Go to the pending invitations.
There are ways to just, like, one of my old referrals, so I don't have a referral send them, another referral send me. Just to send a referral.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. If you go to Keller, and then you type in your name, your location, and well, this also I wanted to send a referral, but no, just. Okay, here's some invites from people, and I have no problem accepting them. I'm a whore. No, accept out of them.
You want me to accept it.
So those are. Here's Roxy. Look, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. I'm an agent in the High Country of NC. Your mom said you had reached out to me before. I wanted to say hello. October 11th of 2018.
Find them too, to grow my network.
You can find people who ask who are like on ranch. You have a number of target by that, or even you can type in a town. This is like Sparta. And you can type in it's on there.
And you just,
Moving on to Sketch House. This is basically where you can create custom templates for pretty much any platform. The ones that I have here, I think the only templates that are set up is for email. You can kind of go through here and pick, which one you want, what color it's going to show up in. Some are red, some are blue. We'll go into, let's say, social media. So they don't have templates, so you can click create your own. And this is kind of like intimidating at first when you don't really like understand it, but it's super easy.
It's supposed to be like Canva.
Yeah, it's really cool. So you can, and like some are like, they have door hangers or whatever. So we'll just do like a small example really fast. So Sketch House. Yeah. Yeah, this is like you can super like tailor your ads or the things that you want your consumers to see send out. And since they do, I'll go back really fast. They have these different sections. Yeah. So let's say I'll go to one that's great. So in email, connected seller blue template. So this right here is, so see if you already have all of your contact information, like your personal information on KW Command, fill it in for you for this stuff. So you'll have your headshot, your contact information, and everything like that. And then you can kind of change these boxes up a little bit. And you have your little bio down at the bottom, which is kind of cool. So this is one that is a template, so you can change all the information that's in here. They also allow you to add sections. So if I want to do a half section, I can drag it, put it in, say, right here. And then I have two cells that I can customize. So by doing that, you hit contact over here. If you want text in one box, drag it over to text, and then you can type whatever you want.
Oh, it is a lot like Canva.
Yes, okay. It's very user friendly. You just have to kind of go in and see what each one is. So then you can drag over images too, and that will open your images for your computer. So if you have a picture on your computer that you want to put on the ad that you're creating, you can do that. It's really cool. So one that I did, and I'll go back to it, was for mailers, I believe. Three sections. So you can kind of go through content. And this is super cool because you can kind of like do your images, if you want text here, your bio, like all your contact information and a picture, whatever you want. But then you can go over to widgets too, and this links up like all sorts of stuff. So one was listings, and this just gives you an example listing. I'll drag that over here. Check this out. It pops up. This is just an example, but it pops up kind of a little bit about it. We have all this stuff, and I think that depending on the platform that you choose, the templates, they'll be interactive. So if this is a web one, then they'll be able to click these, kind of see the different images, see a little bit about the house. Then you have all of like your contact information up here, and then you can email it out whatever platform you choose. So when I was doing this, the only thing I didn't look into was how to get your specific listing on here. So that'd be another thing that we need to look into, of course. Sketch House is really cool, but it'll just take some getting used to figure out exactly what you want to do with each one of these things that you have. Once you create them too, they're saved, so you can kind of, like we were talking about, you can change them up depending on if you're sending them to different people. So that's the next thing we're going to talk about. Is
the default template there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like that in Sketch House.
So next we're going to landing pages. This one I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about. So to create one, these would be like hyper specific to your area. So we'll call this one, we'll use our market snap template. Yeah, this is our default right here. And I did not create that. That was already in. So it's just market snap. So once it's created, kind of have all this information that you can change. So under landing pages, you go to create landing page, and you'll see that's your default if that's the only one that you have. So they need you to create a default, I guess is what they're need to do. I think that market snap was the easiest one that we had to stay tuned.
Are there?
That's right.
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
I'm getting the local insights. Like that.
Look, yeah, landing pages is just below.
Oh, just listings?
Do I need to zoom out? So these are going to be to highlight neighborhoods so far, but if your templates are different, they can kind of customize to specific locations and for just kind of generalized information that you want to be. Yeah. From what I've gathered so far. So that's what we'll be changing.
But there's also, when you set up certain clients, they would get their own landing page targeted to them. That's interactive. That's a big part of the system.
So it's kind of like a drip thing?
We're trying to figure out all the uses of it.
Okay.
So that's a small, it's only, oh yeah. See, here's neighborhoods here. It's kind of random what it has and what it doesn't.
And for that's another thing. Our market up here, it has very select neighborhoods that you can choose. Like there's 7 Oaks over there off Old 421, but then you also have Valley Cruises as one whole neighborhood. So it's very, I think it'd be beneficial to get to kind of know like which ones you have access to if you're going to start trying to utilize this within your
If you create your one, they don't necessarily have data for it, but
it would not show up. I've had one where it's like highlighted, right here. I did one for Blowing Rock that, kind of the whole Blowing Rock area. There's one for like Heavenly Mountain and Inlet Road, that area. There's 2 different ones.
Can we request neighborhoods to be included?
Not that I've been able to find out so far.
Okay.
That'd be something that I would need help with because.
Yeah, just ask if they have a plan, Ashley, to increase the number of neighborhoods. But the idea behind this is that you would send it to somebody. Now, here's how it works, kind of, people are looking to sell their homes. And so you give them market snaps so they're watching what's going on in their neighborhood. We just keep giving them Boone or whatever we have because we're trying to get them to buy here. Okay, so it's a little different because in most markets, they're relocating and you're trying to look at where they are. Here, we're kind of more buyer oriented on people coming here. So, go ahead.
Have any of you guys kind of looked at local insights at all on what that section is all about? Basically like a Yelp review. So if you're, say, at Harris Teeter, like Michael Spicola was the other day, he used his app on his phone, added a local insight, which we'll show you how to do here in a minute, And he took a picture at Harris Teeter, said great produce, located in Boone, did a little description of it, and it saves to your command insights page, which we're about to get to. And so when you're creating these landing pages, it has a section for local insights.
Click on the one down there, Hatchet Coffee.
I tried to do this at the wellness center and it wouldn't let me do it.
Okay.
So basically how I did this is you type in the zip code for like whatever your insight was, and it'll pop up with several, hopefully all of the ones that you for that specific area. And it gives you up to 5. So say I want to add a new public house, which is not really anything, but we can add that and say apply changes. And the cool thing is it shows them down here underneath this. So say you did Boone and you had 5 insights within Boone, you can add these 5 underneath here. And then
always add a photo. Don't forget, just add a photo.
And then at the bottom, lead form. So it's kind of blurry, but it's basically, if I emailed this to somebody, which I'll do here in a second for you, you have all of these things that it's basically like, are you interested? Let's talk. Fill out your name, email address, phone number, and a description of kind of what you're interested in. So I'll go ahead and save this. Go ahead and publish it. Yeah, sure. These can be deleted too if you make a mistake or something. You can edit them. You can take them off.
You can find other people, right? Because I remember seeing it.
So I haven't seen any from other people, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't translate. So now that I have this link to this this landing page, I'll go ahead and copy it. The Kelly app makes this way more easy because you can just hit send. It'll bring up all of your things like email, text, all that stuff. We'll talk more about it. So
I can see yours right now. That's Savannah. That's a couple.
yeah, so all of your local insights will translate throughout the thing. So if you go to Austin, Texas, everybody's been doing insights. You'll be able to see all of the cool things that you can do around that area, basically. So,
You can add those to your emailing back to somebody.
so I'm emailing this to myself. So I copied that link that the link page created for me. I'm pasting it in here, and I'm
Who
going
else
to send
wants
it.
to become? Any of us.
All right. What's the email?
L Realtor, CHISTY. RISTY. L Realtor. Because I had a really hard last name.
I went ahead and sent that, and to pull up for you guys what this ends up looking like, click on it as a consumer or a client or a prospect. So you have all this stuff here, and they can move this map around, so they can kind of, if they want to see what big cities are near here, they can zoom in and out and everything and move it around like that and see how close it is.
I'm not some of this craziness.
Yeah, and so that's what I've been trying to figure out. I hate how this is. I mean, you see active listing, pending listing, and then you have, average list price, but there's no commas or dollar signs. So that might be something. And I haven't been able to figure out a way to do that yet.
So in some ways, these are things that they have done before, that they just haven't done for us.
That's right. Yeah, we're limited just by how much data is in the system. They're continually adding to it.
Yeah.
So, is there a way though that we put somebody in command, I put you in command, and I just give that, or at this point is it static like
It
this?
seems static.
Okay.
I think that these numbers will change based on the market, I'm sure. But if this is pulled.
So if I checked it tomorrow, and if there was a sale.
But I think that it should update based on what I've learned from the website so far. These guys I haven't really been figured out how to add to them. So I guess we don't have a team bio yet, which might mean that this isn't going to show up on our team. This would be hopefully the agent, but no matter how I've done it, I have not been able to get the information to pop up for these.
If you write that down, because it needs to be integrated with our KWLS system and then Market Center. So that would be taking it, this would be dicing it further and further down, which I don't think is really necessary for your clients at this point. But so this would be everything in the market. So this would be MLS, this would be KWLS, this would be from your Market Center, that's us. Then if you have a team and an agent. Again, so much of this is built toward really big areas, so it's a little different than us.
Neighborhoods, I think the automatic place that it like. For headquarters, and then so you need to type in specifically. I typed in like 282 or 28607, and then I typed in Boone, and it was like Boone 915 extension. So you click on that. Yeah, some days I go into here and like it's working fine, and other days it's like they're just like messing with it on the back end, and they're screwing everything up for you for a second. So this is cool. So then you see how it has the Hatchet Coffee and the new public house things. It doesn't go any deeper.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
I think if you maybe put their website in the description, it might link up. So you could maybe try that. Another thing, I was watching a video on I think this girl, I don't remember what she was talking basically about the insights, and she wasn't sure if these are specifically for a specific customer. So it's like, hey, Julie, check this place out. Like, you'd really love it because I know how much you like coffee. So she was saying you could even get as specific as that. But she wasn't quite sure because all these insights show up for everybody. She wasn't sure how applicable that they could be. So these recommendations, you're limited to 5. So if you're going to on a snap, yeah. So if you are sending it to like one person and you kind of know what they like, you can pick your insights based on like tailored.
And the more, if people are looking at this and they see all these insights, mine is different than all these. Well, we can go to insights now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the same. I'm typing in 28607 and it's like, me too.
Right.
Like 3. But maybe it's because I tried to do it once. I listened to elliptical, and I used that, and I was like, I'm just going to try to do one of these too.
Local insights.
Into it.
Yeah, but here, view on that. I see them all here.
You can click on each little pin.
Click on them. They don't show up right away when you do. Darn.
I did, and it's
Oh, that's cool.
So sometimes your location services need to be on, so if they're not on, it's not going to pick up. So this one, my computer likes this. Would you like this app to allow us to basically check your location? I hit allow, and then that's when all these popped up. If you hit don't allow, it might be send it to Austin, Texas.
app, or did you do it on your computer?
So it's a lot easier from your app, and then when you're
So
doing it,
everybody's assignment for before the next one is to do an insight.
do an insight and make sure your location services are on, because it'll pick up where you are. So then that's where your pin will be dropped. So if you do it from here on your laptop, you're gonna have to figure out how to like specifically click on an area, which I haven't figured out how to do yet. So doing the insights at the place that you're located is gonna be the most beneficial.
Is it as a category? Coffee shop, you know, so yeah, with it, but once you get used to it, it's going out and do it.
Okay.
I mean, just because people like you turn like Boone it works, and sometimes you got to type in the zip code and it works. So
I typed in Clark County zip code, every single zip code for Clark County, I had to find something like that. But then I went in and I typed in like inside Clark. So it's definitely very specific in how they want you to do it, which is,
We'll learn what that specificity is. Okay.
yeah. Adjust landing pages. Go into reports now. From your dashboard, you have reports down here in the bottom right. This is basically your progress from what I've gathered, which is pretty cool. So this is like database health. So it kind of shows us what we need to be working on, how many addresses.
29% of addresses, there's no way.
Yep, so addresses, emails 100%, phone number 64%. And you got to think, because but you have to put.
How possible have that be addressed?
Mine says I have 17.
Yeah. So then you got database activity scores and total contacts, new contacts, buyer opportunity report, listing opportunity report, GCI coming soon.
Will show you and send an email, or you can look them all up and start calling. And so it acts like a CRM. It starts acting like a CRM.
You're moving clients from A to B. Are the numbers going to I think that you're supposed to be typing in the information, and then this section's coming soon, and that should be tracking it along with it.
Well, maybe this is not what you're asking, but I think too, we go to your database, you're listed as a buyer, and then once they bought something, you're listed as bought. So I think you have to remember to change that.
You have
Way in your list.
databases.
Yeah, so you can edit your seller worksheet when you're in opportunities, and you can type in your closing cost percentages, things like that. So that should be what you type in.
Ultimately,
Much interconnectivity we have with itself, which has been really cool to see. As they actually put more and more things online, it should get a little bit easier to understand, I'm hoping, in a general sense. So we've got reports and email campaigns. So email campaigns I was looking into, and it looks like for these you can create a campaign, but I think that when we go back to your settings, you have to have your email linked up to use it. So if I wanted to say do a bulk email of the landing page that I just created, like to your email, pick your group, and then copy the link and send it that way. It would be through Gmail, which we've now connected. So I'm hoping that we can do the bulk through
okay,
that.
all right. I got different people on the man that I have. I don't have to have the group set up in email. I just have to have it set up.
And then your Gmail account contacts have been.
That's cool.
So that now they're all in one place with your tags. Alright, so we'll go into neighborhood snaps now. So if you go into your settings, either settings from the dashboard or click on your names from the drop-down box, hit settings. You can go into neighborhood snaps.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, this is
Rob-
excellent. This is excellent.
Do you guys want to do this every 2 weeks? 2 weeks on Thursdays? Okay, we'll just have a standing 11 o'clock every 2 weeks on Thursdays. And we'll just kind of try and target one for each one. Before I finish, I'd like to give a hand to Rob for doing all this research and presenting it so in such an organized way. So Thursdays, Rob wants to move from Thursday. Is that 2 weeks from today?
Yeah.
Already? Okay, nothing.
Thursday night.
We could do Tuesday the 7th. Would that be good? All right, we'll just tell Sarah. So we'll do Tuesday the 7th, and we'll just make this. But then we'll go back to every second Thursday. We'll try and let you know a topic ahead of time, and you can. This is a group learning experience. Do you want us to give assignments? Will that help? Light fires? No assignments? Okay.
Not yet, not yet.
How we can get webinars, I have the hardest time. I
The,
don't know why.
the only other two things that I would want to talk about was the Kelly app and how that kind of just command and how to get to webinars. So you have to go into your connect, but not command. You want to go from you're signed in. There's technology on this top bar right here. Scroll down to videos. Where'd it go? Video.
Who would have known this?
And these are the ones that you can sign up for. Yeah, so they have scheduled times, but they do like 3 or 4 a day. So it's just not where.
But can you? If you mix it,
Yeah, so I was going to show you for the live webinars.
Okay, one thing at a time. We're talking about multiple things at once.
Yeah. So a lot of these are already, some are pre-recorded and some are live questionnaires.
so if you missed one of the webinars, can you watch it later?
So that's what I'm about to talk about right now. You have videos under technology. Then over here on the left, you have Connect Live Schedule. These have everything from Connect to Command, and you can sign up for these webinars. You say click on one for tomorrow. Right here on the right is Register Now. And then you can put your contact, your email, and all that stuff and submit it.
Provide a link for the. Got a link in the back of the site.
Okay, that's on Jeanette. That's on Jeanette. You have to sign it.
You have to sign in. So when you're signed in technology, if y'all have this now that I gave you, this is listed in here. It doesn't have a URL, but it says log into Connect. But you click. So now once you're in this schedule right here, Connect Live on Demand. So, then you have all these back ones that have been done before. but it's in general.
It's in general, okay, so anyone.
And that's why they're doing it.
You can search on,
So they're doing 4 or 5 of these a day. And so some are just connect, and some are for command, and some are for like specific parts of command. So you kind of want to go through and, if you can just take a look, once a week or something, and just see if something pops out at you that you might want to learn about.
And if you find one that works, put it on the Facebook page and say, hey guys, this one really helped me a lot.
We watched 2 or 3 that one day, and that was super helpful. Because then you have, they're giving them live, so then you have people chiming in and asking them questions and answering stuff.
We're all, we're never gonna know everything about this, and I think that's comforting to me. You just go after what you need to, probably have all gone down.
Absolutely. Some people are going to like doing an marketing course, some people just want to call their database.
That was the biggest thing with webinars, is they said everyone says who you are is going to be different from the person sitting next to you. So you kind of have to. That's going to be the hardest thing about command, is to kind of figure out which parts are going to benefit you the most, and then how can you apply those the most to help you the way that you've been doing things, the way that you can change things if you'd like to. So their whole goal is to make things easier for you, but because it is such a large company and it's such a big movement, that it's the hardest part is going to be looking at the whole thing through.
And I know this is what you asked, but if you missed a video, was there a way to go back?
Yeah, so I was looking at, if you get to this thing here, Connect Live Schedule, right here, other resources on the left, Connect Live on Demand. So these are the past ones that they've done, and it looks like.
You have to type in the topics and then.
Yeah, and you can search it.
Okay. And then I'll talk about too. Find a webinar that's really good. Go ahead and share it with everybody so we can.
The corporate office, or Bobby Shaw used to be OP for the company, operating principal down there. Changes to different offices. For that reason, and if there are any questions that to buy these things, don't give office. They're trying to protect keeping users so that there's some modifications.
I didn't even know where I would have started.
Yeah.
I mean,
Another handout that we had too,
I printed that out.
yeah, but then, yeah, the single page that we passed out, that's gonna be like your kind of first steps to get started for Connect. That's
Yeah,
gonna
you've
be
got the activity.
really helpful.
Charts are really helpful, like you, if you overwhelming, but okay, well, I want to know more about that. Find another one.